Hello friends, I am Payal, your own study abroad expert. Today on the request of few students, we're going to talk about the GRE and GMAT exam. So a lot of students are confused about which exam to write, GRE or GMAT. Well, it depends on your admission requirements for sure. But if you are planning to take admission in a business school, you could write either GRE or GMAT. The majority of the B schools, they accept GRE or GMAT scores. So it depends on which exam you want to write. But there are few, the premier ones who might want to take GMAT, but most of them take either GRE or GMAT. So there are few similarities in this exam and there are few, differences as well, which you need to understand, and that will help you decide which exam you should write. The GMAT exam is administered by Graduate Management Admission Council, which is GMAT, and GRE exam is administered by ETS, Educational Testing Services. The validity of the scores for both the exam, GRE and GMAT, is about 5 years. Beyond that, you'll have to retake the exam. The maximum number of times that you can write GRE or GMAT exam over a rolling period of 12 months is 5 times. For GMAT, the maximum number of times that you can write is 8 times during your lifetime. Beyond that, you can't take this exam again. So the cost of writing GMAT exam, the fees is $275, and the fees for writing GRE exam is $205, which is going to increase by $15 around November 1st, 2022. The GRE exam would comprise of analytical writing assessment, where you have to write issue essay and argument essay both, and you would also have verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, and the total scores for GRE is 340, where 170 is your verbal and 170 is your quant. Whereas in GMAT, the total is 800. So you could get any score between 200 to 800. And you have an additional section here, which is integrated reasoning. So you have analytical writing assessment, where you only get argument writing, your verbal and quantitative reasoning, and you also have integrated reasoning. So integrated reasoning, scores are not added in your GMAT scores, but it's a very important section because that really tests you on your logical and analytical skills, which is very important if you are going to do your MBA and get into say a professional life, dealing with managers and a team of people, where decision making is going to be very important. So both GRE and GMAT are computer adaptive tests, which means that if you get a hard question and you're not able to answer, the next question would be easier. And if you are able to answer it correctly, the next question would be harder. So what you get is a raw score for GMAT, and later you get a percentile ranking as well, depending on the relative performance of the other test takers. Now the main question that arises in your mind is, which exam is easier, GRE or GMAT? If you're good in your quantitative aptitude, your maths is good, you should go for GMAT, because the quant section in GMAT is more difficult than what it is in GRE. The verbal section in GRE is harder because it tests you on your vocabulary as well, and your GMAT verbal is comparatively easier. Now, in the quant section of GRE, you would get a lot of questions on geometry, whereas in the quant section of GMAT, you would get a lot of logical reasoning questions that would test you on your analytical, abilities. So that is why the quant section of GMAT is a little harder, whereas the verbal section of GRE is a little harder. So depending on what is your strength, you can decide which exam to write. So whenever you have to decide on which exam you should write, GRE or GMAT, you should verify the admission requirements of the university that you want to take admission in. And as you pay your fees for GMAT, you would, your scores would be sent free to 5 universities. And similarly for GRE also, they would send your scores free as a part of the fees that you paid to write the exam to the universities. So one question that you would have in your mind is, a lot of universities these days are giving a GRE waiver. Well, that was the case in COVID. But if you have done your bachelor's in computer science and you want to do master's in computer science, then majority of universities would need a good GRE score. It is a prerequisite as a part of the admission requirement. And if you want to take masters in data science, then some of them have GRE waiver, some of them have not. So if you're not planning to write GRE, probably you could choose the universities which have a GRE waiver. So it depends on what your choice is and what are the admission requirements. Accordingly, you should prepare for the exam. So it all depends on which course and which university you want to choose. So I hope you got some good information about GRE and GMAT, and that would really help you to decide which exam you should write. So in the upcoming videos, we'll give you a lot of more information on different courses and different universities, and that would help you choose the right career path. We want to be a part of your success and the entire journey, and we want to share as much information that we have with you. So if you have any comments, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And if you want us to make a video on any topic, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to us, like, share the video with all your friends, and follow us today. So subscribe to us now. Thank you.